Hello my dear students and welcome once again to Zenith Academy Online. Today we are studying factors affecting photosynthesis. This is a part of the chapter photosynthesis for all the boards and this is specially made for ICSE class 10. So let's go ahead children. So now what are the different factors which affect the rate of photosynthesis? So there are certain external factors as well as certain internal factors. So first I have listed them here. Let's see. Okay. So light intensity is the external factor. It doesn't depend on the plant, right? Light intensity. Then we will talk about carbon dioxide concentration, temperature and water content. Okay. So all these are external factors. Then what are the internal factors which depends on the plants? So chlorophyll, protoplasm and the structure of leaf. So let's talk about these external and internal factors in detail. First we are talking about external factors. So we will be talking about light and CO2 concentration. So see here on the right hand side I have given you a graph. Okay. So on this slide I will be explaining you both light intensity and carbon dioxide concentration. Okay. Now see here. Photosynthesis increases with the light intensity up to a certain limit only. We all know that in photosynthesis light is required. So light intensity, if we keep on increasing the light intensity, initially the photosynthesis will keep on increasing. But it will increase up to a certain limit only and then it will get stabilized at point S dash. So if you see this diagram, first diagram, okay, on the x-axis it is increasing the light intensity, as you go towards right, the light intensity keeps on increasing and this is the rate of photosynthesis. So you see initially when the light is increasing, the rate of photosynthesis is also increasing. Can you see? Now it becomes stable after a certain point S dash. Okay, after this, even if you keep on increasing the light, now it has some certain limit, the plant has certain limit. So even if you keep on increasing the intensity of light, this rate of photosynthesis will not increase. So here you can see rate of photosynthesis is stabilized. Okay, and this is the highest rate. This point is the highest rate of photosynthesis. And when is it reached? At, if I compare it with concentration of CO2, so this is happening at 0.02% concentration of carbon dioxide. So when I keep the concentration of carbon dioxide constant as 0.02% in the air, okay, then this is how it increases with the increase in intensity. So initially it will increase, but after certain point this will not increase, it becomes stabilized. Okay. Now, but if at this point the carbon dioxide concentration is increased, so at this particular point, okay, can you see S dash point? It is same here in the second graph. So at this point now it has become, this is the highest point and after this it gets stabilized. But at this point, if I increase the carbon dioxide concentration from 0.02 to say 0.05%, okay, now what I am doing, the light intensity remains same, but if I increase the concentration of carbon dioxide, then the photosynthesis also increases further and then again it gets stabilized at another point which is mentioned here by S double dash. Okay, so here you see it is again increasing, but again it will get stabilized here. So now in the first diagram you were increasing light intensity, but after a certain limit it was not increasing. But now if you are continuously increasing the light intensity, but at reaching the highest point you increase the carbon dioxide, you supply some carbon dioxide more, okay, then it will further increase like this. There will be a jump like this, but again it will get stabilized. Okay. Now in this case this becomes the highest rate of photosynthesis at 0.05 concentration of CO2. Okay. So these are the two factors together diagram. I hope you guys have understood. Next is temperature. Okay. Now with the rise in temperature, the rate of photosynthesis rises. Okay. So it is directly proportional. So here you are seeing This x-axis is increasing temperature and this is the rate of photosynthesis. So initially you see that when you are increasing temperature, this keeps on rising here. So why is it rising? See, increasing molecular collisions. The molecules will collide more now because the temperature is increased. So increasing molecular collision due to increased kinetic energy leads to an increase in the rate of photosynthesis. Now which molecules you are talking about? The raw material. What are the raw material of photosynthesis? Water and carbon dioxide. Okay. Yes. So this rise occurs up to an optimum temperature of 35 degree. So if you see here, this rise keeps on happening till 35 degree. Okay. So this is the maximum suitable temperature when the photosynthesis occurs the best. So this can be asked in your MCQs, remember this. Now after which the rate falls. So now after which, even if you are increasing the temperature, the rate falls. The rate falls. Now why is it happening? Because we are increasing temperature, kinetic energy should increase and there should be more photosynthesis. Then why is it dipping? See here. Okay, so above 40 degree what happens? After which the rate falls and stops above 40 degree. So this is the maximum rate of photosynthesis reached at the optimal temperature. What is the optimal temperature? 35. Uske baad if you increase the temperature, so around 40 it remains same, and around 40 it keeps on decreasing. So what is happening at this uppermost limit? The enzymes are destroyed. So chlorophyll also is destroyed and the enzymes which help in photosynthesis are destroyed. So now with every rise of 10 degree, okay, a rise, first you watch this. Breaking of bonds in the enzyme structure leads to the change in the shape of active sites. That is, there happens a denaturation. Denaturation हो जाता है enzymes का. So active site का shape change हो जाता है and thereby it decreases the rate of photosynthesis. Now children, a rise of 10 degree up to the optimum temperature, that is up to 35, doubles the rate of photosynthesis. मतलब ये बोल रहा है when you increase the temperature by 10 degree, the rate of photosynthesis keeps on doubling. For example, if you take the temperature from 20 to 30, so from 20 to 30 there is a 10 degree rise, or from 22 to 32, or for example 25 to 35. So here you can see there is 10 degree rise in the temperature. So here the rate of photosynthesis keeps on doubling. तो 20 से 30 जब आपने उसको टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज किया तो पहले जो रेट थी 20 तक उससे डबल हो जाएगी. Okay, so but this happens only till 35. After 35, see the rate falls and it stops above 40. Okay, so this is like this, 35 to 40 is this, and then it keeps on dropping because the enzymes are denatured, the enzymes are destroyed. Okay, I hope you have understood the temperature point as well. Now the water content. The scarcity of water due to reduced absorption from the soil or due to an excessive loss through transpiration. So how does a plant have a scarcity of water? Either the transpiration is more or the absorption from the roots, absorption from the soil through the roots is less. अगर उसने absorb ही कम किया है या फिर उसने transpiration ज़्यादा किया है, then there is a scarcity of water inside the plant body. Okay, and this scarcity of water reduces the rate of photosynthesis. Why? By decreasing the diffusive capacity, that is carbon dioxide का intake ही कम हो जाएगा. Okay, जो carbon dioxide diffuse होके अंदर आ रहा है वो कम हो जाएगा because of the closure of stomata. Because now see what has happened, water content is less. या तो पानी कम absorb किया है या ज़्यादा transpirate किया है, water content is less. It means the stomata will close down so that the water is not getting lost. So when the stomata closes, it cannot take carbon dioxide inside. Now if it doesn't take carbon dioxide inside, what happens? Photosynthesis will decrease, right? So children, you should also know this fact that only 1% of the water which is absorbed by the root is utilized in the photosynthesis. Otherwise maximum of it is transpirated. Okay, now let's go ahead. We have studied the external factors. Now let's talk about internal factors. So first internal factor is chlorophyll, obviously. So nutritional deficiency of minerals causes loss of chlorophyll. So if the plant has not absorbed enough of nutrition, enough of minerals from the soil, or if the soil is deficient of the nutrients, then what happens? Chlorophyll is lost. Loss of chlorophyll happens. And hence, if the chlorophyll is less, the drop in the trapping solar energy. Okay, if chlorophyll is less, who will trap the solar energy? And if solar energy is not trapped, then the photosynthesis will decrease, right? So the chlorophyll is the internal factor. And how is chlorophyll lost? Due to the nutritional deficiency of minerals. Next is protoplasm. Okay, dehydration of the protoplasm. What is protoplasm? Protoplasm is the that fluid-like substance, the jelly-like substance inside the cells. So if it is dehydrated, if the water is lost, so dehydration of the protoplasm for some reason, okay, if with any reason, if the protoplasm has dehydrated, it reduces the rate of photosynthesis. Similarly, the accumulation of carbohydrates, that is sugar and starch, also reduces the rate of photosynthesis. Now what is this? Now suppose the plant has produced food, carbohydrate is there. Now this carbohydrate, it has produced excess food. So a lot of carbohydrates is accumulated in the protoplasm. Okay, अगर इकट्ठा हो गया है lot of carbohydrate, या फिर even if it is converted into sugar and starch, if that is accumulated, ज़्यादा store करके रखा है, तभी भी rate of photosynthesis is reduced. I hope this is clear to you. So protoplasm is another factor. In protoplasm, you have to remember two things. First is dehydration of the protoplasm, it reduces the rate. Second is accumulation of carbohydrates, that is sugar or starch, reduces the rate of photosynthesis. Next internal factor is structure of the leaf itself, कि leaf का कैसा structure है. Okay, so there are three things that play important role. The thickness of the cuticle, cuticle कितना thick है. Second is distribution of stomata, कितने ज़्यादा stomata है lower epidermis में. And third is the size of the leaf. If the size of the leaf is small, the surface area is small, less photosynthesis will happen. Correct? So these three factors, thickness, if the cuticle is very thick, photosynthesis, the light will not able to enter properly. Stomata is less or scarce, then the photosynthesis will be less. And if the size of the leaf is small, it is not very large or flat, then also the photosynthesis is reduced. And if you take two plants, एक का size small है, एक का size big है, okay, so which will have more photosynthesis? The leaf having big leaf, okay, because the surface area is increased for the absorption of sunlight. So I hope you have understood how structure of leaf also influences the amount of light and the amount of carbon dioxide which is entering the leaf. So the amount of light is been done by thickness of cuticle and the stomata. And the size of the leaf, and the distribution of stomata influences the amount of carbon dioxide that is diffusing in the leaf. I hope it is clear. So cuticle अगर thick है तो light कम enter हो पाएगी. Okay, size of the leaf अगर छोटी है तो कम light absorb कर पाएगा. Right? Stomata is less, then less carbon dioxide comes in. Stomata is more, then more carbon dioxide comes in. And you guys already know कि amount of light और CO2 कैसे affect करता है photosynthesis को. Next is, so these were the factors. Now I am explaining you some important concepts, or you can say important points here. So dawn to dusk, natural changes in the environmental conditions and photosynthesis. How photosynthesis is related to the natural changes in the environment that is happening from dawn to dusk. Okay, now in every period of 24 hours, plants are subjected to a regular cycle of changes in light intensity. है ना? Afternoon में the light intensity is so high. In the morning it is slightly less. In the night it is almost zero. Okay, so in every period of 24 hours, plants are subjected to a regular cycle of changes in the light intensity. And the rate of photosynthesis increases from dawn to midday. जैसे जैसे afternoon होती है, midday होता है, rate of photosynthesis increases, correct? Because the intensity of light is increasing. and then it declines as dusk approaches. जैसे जैसे evening आती है, it declines. So plants like other organism also respire. Now ये तो हो गया. अब plants also respire. Respiration also takes place. So in the respiration what happens? It takes in oxygen. Now it is opposite of photosynthesis. Okay, pay attention. In the respiration it takes in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. So in light, so whenever there is sunlight, that is in the morning time, the effects of this respiratory activity is masked. छुप जाती है. किसकी वजह से छुप जाती है? By photosynthesis, right? Photosynthesis is more prominent and respiration happens, but it is masked, and there is a net output of oxygen. So morning में since photosynthesis is more, respiration is less, so output में कौन होगा? Oxygen. Now in the darkness now photosynthesis is not happening, so respiration alone is responsible for changes in the gaseous components. So now only respiration is happening. So now this is the gaseous composition is only because of only because of respiration of a plant's surrounding atmosphere. Okay, have you all understood? So during respiration it takes in oxygen, gives out carbon dioxide. During photosynthesis it takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. So in the morning oxygen is the output, in the night carbon dioxide is the output. Now, does photosynthesis takes place at night? This is a very common question that students have. So see here children, some desert plants and some epiphytes are able to release oxygen even during the night. Okay, as they perform photosynthesis using a different pathway. This pathway is not there for your portion, but just remember the name, that there is a different pathway called CAM pathway. Okay, and what are the examples of such plants which does photosynthesis at night? You have to remember that aloe vera, tulsi, neem and peepal, they all perform photosynthesis at night. Okay, I hope you guys have understood all the factors which are affecting photosynthesis. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, do it right away and tap on the bell icon to get the notifications of all the upcoming videos. We are also coming up with MCQs of all the topics. So stay tuned and keep the learning on.